Geez, it's been a while that I have not posted a video in such a long time. And I found that I mostly record all my vlogs and stuff in my room, in my bed, because I don't have like a desk or anything. So just trying to let you guys know that I'm sitting in my bed. I wanted to blog about love. Love. I don't know if that's backwards on here or not, but I promise you that it's spelled out the right way. I wrote down these things that I wanted to talk about in the video, so I won't forget them because they're important. Important. The first thing I want to read, because I'm gonna read a few things, and y'all either will get bored of it and then shut this video, which is fine, you know. Some people want to hear it and want to know. So I'm going to read the verse that everybody knows that's in the Bible about what love is. And then I'm just going to not quickly explain it. I just want to go over. It's for 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. So let me just quickly read that. Love is patient. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. So I've written some things down in this journal. So with this verse, love is patient because we're human and we want things rushed. We want things to happen, whenever we want them to happen, And then a lot of those times we do rush into relationships. Like in our past, I think they probably rushed in many relationships because it was those moments where you just didn't want to wait, and be with someone. Just know that someone cared about you, that you wanted to be there. And love really is patient, meaning that you wait for it when it's right. You're gonna rush into something that can easily break or that there's a risk involved. And I don't know if that really makes sense or not, but love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. When you're with someone, it's a relationship, it's a partnership. It shouldn't be a competition between you and the other person. Or somebody accomplishes something that the other person has been trying to accomplish. Maybe they have the same goals and perspectives in their own personal lives, and someone reaches that step before the other person does, and they feel like envious of it, and it shouldn't be like that. Love isn't like that. Love supports you for growth. It supports you. It gets happy when you reach a milestone. It doesn't hold you back. In order for you to love someone, you gotta really know and understand the meaning of what love is, but then also be changed by it. And the only time you can be changed by it, so you can see in that perspective, is when God really shows you your worth and your value, and shows you what love is. And I know a lot of people will struggle with that reality, just simply because you're not there in a relationship with God. You're not there to, you don't really understand that. Maybe there's something in the back of your mind where, do I really have to know God and know this, in order to love? No, I can love someone. What I'm trying to say is that really, yourself get to experience what love really is, and just be really carried away in God's love. Then you learn to really not just hear or learn about love, but experience it in order for you to give it out and demonstrate it to someone else, because it is something beautiful. I don't see how it's possible to experience a love so pure if it's not first with God. That's just really my perspective. It's not self-seeking. This is very important. And then it will go into the other story that I'm about to go into after this. Um, Love will not just seek for itself, like, what can this person do for me? You know, it's not ultimately about finding someone that's going to serve you. To be in a relationship, to marry someone, is really not about how the other person can be, you know, serving you. It's a partnership. And easily how they can allow you to grow as a person, you have to see what you're bringing into them. And if you're going to allow them to grow, you know, um, it's not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love really is like that, you know. A lot of the times I do tell people this, and a lot of my friends that have gone through so much and they decide to stay with someone that has been toxic to them. I tell them, I'm not saying that it's not going to be easily worked out between you guys and that y'all are going to be able to jump through this hurdle. But you have to realize that if you decide to forgive that person, the healthiest thing to go about it is just not to bring back the past. If you're forgiving them for what they did to you, or you're deciding to forgive what was in the past, then do that. Don't bring it up. It's your decision to stay with that person. So it's your decision to forget about it and move on. You're not going to move ahead if you keep bringing up the past. It's not healthy. Not for you, not for the other person. It's just not healthy at all. So that's God's meaning there in the Bible. It's in the Bible of what love is. And so that's kind of a wrap up, like not a wrap up, but that's kind of like the perspective I quickly wanted to share, or the first perspective I wanted to share on that. Some people have probably heard of this story, but I'm going to read it here. And this, when I first read it, I was like, wow. So if you heard it, you're going to hear it again if you keep watching. It's called Marriage Isn't For You. Okay, here it goes. I've been married only a year and a half. I've recently come to the conclusion that marriage isn't for me. Now, before you start making assumptions, keep reading. I met my wife in high school when we were 15 years old. We were friends for 10 years until we decided no longer wanted to be just friends. I strongly recommended that best friends fall in love. Good times would be had by all. Nevertheless, falling in love with my best friend did not prevent me from having certain fears and anxieties about getting married. The nearer Kim and I approached the decision to marry, the more I was filled with a paralyzing fear. Was I ready? Was I making the right choice? Was Kim the right person to marry? Would she make me happy? So then it goes on. I'm not going to read everything. To his dad about his fears, right? And this is what his dad responded. Seth, you're being totally selfish. So I'm going to make this really simple. Marriage isn't for you. You don't marry to make yourself happy. You marry to make someone else happy. More than that, your marriage isn't for yourself. You're marrying for a family. Not just for the in-laws and all of that nonsense, but for your future children. Who do you want to help you raise them? Who do you want to influence them? Marriage isn't for you. It's not about you. Marriage is about the person you married. So then it goes, no, a true marriage and true love is never about you. It's about the person you love, their wants, their needs, their hopes, and their dreams. Selfishness demands what is in it for me, while love asks, what can I give? Marriage is about family. You don't know that marriage isn't for you. No true relationship of love is for you. Love is about the person you love. And paradoxically, the more you truly love that person, the more love you receive. And not just from your significant other, but from their friends and their family and thousands of others you never would have met had you remained self-centered. Truly love in marriage isn't for you, it's for others. And that was his story. So when I first read that, it made me realize this cannot be more true. You know, like real love constantly asks you, what can I give to that person? Am I offering the very best of me? And ultimately, what I've recently been encountering, because I am in a relationship, like I'm not perfect by any means, but I constantly want to be able to be there spiritually, and in the sense that um, there's a freedom in seeking God. I know that a lot of relationships that get involved, and especially when you're younger, you always question, should I go to, maybe I'm going to church too much, or I'm talking about God a little too much. And I know that in my past, it's been like that. And even though I didn't even realize it at the moment, but I was always having that little wall of like, maybe I'm just praying a little too much, or I'm talking too much about God, or I'm being a little too corny, they're not understanding me. And it's like, in that, to finally have that freedom to just let go, I have to remember to enjoy that, to really experience. Love is not always going to question, like, okay, what am I going to get out of this? Love doesn't do that. So let me just mark down my list. Love sees all flaws. A lot of people have at this point maybe heard love is blind. I don't think and believe that love is blind. Love is an eye-opening, I think, and I believe that you're willing to open your eyes and be able to hear the other person and know of their flaws, what is not perfect about them, because you have to realize that no one is truly perfect. I do believe in many times that there is someone perfect enough for you, like, because you're so in love with them, you see them even with their flaws and all, you'll take them in, and it just fits perfectly. It's perfection, right? I get that, but you gotta be realistic in the fact that everyone has their flaws. Everyone has their struggles, and love sees that. Love allows you to sacrifice a little bit of what you can do to the other person to help them reach a potential that they might not yet be in. Decision you make daily. I know initially you see someone or you meet someone, and you just are attractive to them, and at first in initiating, it's like, ooh, who's this person? So initially you can see someone that you feel attracted to in some way or another, and then it builds a relationship and it progresses from that point. But then when it comes to the point where you really want to, like, love this person, it's a decision that you make every day. You water it, just like you do with life, everything. You fuel it. You keep it alive every day. Relationships are meant to be worked on. So if you're not ready for the work, I recommend do not get in a relationship. You have to be in a place where you're not broken. You have to be in a place where you're okay with yourself. You're not broken and need fixing, because I think before you get into any relationship, you really need to dissect if there's anything that you're struggling with that you don't want to bring into another relationship. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to kind of talk about, and hopefully this speaks to someone. I know that many of y'all have heard that Selena song, Como la Flor. So, like, if y'all have heard it, let me look at the lyrics, because I know it's in Spanish, but I'll translate it. Obviously, I think a lot of people have heard of it. There's this verse that says, Si vieras cómo duele perder tu amor, con tu adiós te llevas mi corazón. No sé si pueda volver a amar, porque te di todo el amor que pude dar. That part right there, in that verse, really spoke to me one time I was driving. It always happens when I'm driving. But I said, if you could see how it pains me to lose your love. With your goodbye, you leave with my heart. I don't know if I would be able to love again because I gave you all the love that I could give. And that right there is like, whoa, that's so deep. Like, that is deep. But it just really put in perspective something. It just made me realize all the love that you could give. Since when is love measured by something? When was it told we would ever run out? How much do we have? Who measured how much we had left? The amount of love that we all hold and then it just dies? Or do we just feel like we gave it our all and that's just it? Does everybody have a certain limit of love that they can pour out on someone else? And it really just made me think, because I do that a lot. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Then I realized, you know what? God is love. We can't run out of God. You know? If anything, you can get overfilled and overfilled and overfilled with God and just overpoured and swim in His love because it just keeps pouring out on you. There's not a measure or an amount. And if we're giving out the right kind of love, you won't run out of that. You can't run out of that. Because if we're filling ourselves with God's love, and we've realized our identity in Him, and we've experienced the love that is His love, then we're ultimately pouring out the love that we've known to someone else. And even if that person leaves us, and even if that person hurts us, we've got to believe that we still have more love to give, and maybe even stronger love. And even maybe love to someone that knows exactly what kind of love you're giving out, and then just boom, creates this beautiful relationship. So I told myself, that is a deep verse that she wrote there, but you can't ever run out of love. You can't. There's not a measure to love. There is not an ultimate measurement to how much love you can give. And if you I understand we go through heartaches. Man, we cry and stay up late at night wishing things could change. And we get stuck in the past and keep repeating things that at some point brought us some good memories, but then to realize we're now here in the present and it hurts us to remember even the good memories with someone. Like, I understand that heartbreak happens, and just to go each day realizing, okay, I'm hurting, but if you can just sit with it, like I've said a lot of times, just visit and realize it's there, but not finding your identity in the pain, but then coming and realizing and filling yourself up with God's love, because ultimately there was a place where I was in that I had no one to share what I was going through, and I realized, God is always going to be there. So, and you just cry and you just want to know Him because He will always be there, and to be just overfilled with His love, ultimately you'll never run out. And then when the right person comes, you'll be able to pour that onto that person. A love that God Himself has poured down and taught you. Can't run out of love. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't ever think that you love too much, that person has taken everything away from you. It's not like that. Because there's so much to you that if you think like that, there's just so much more to you that you still have not encountered and you've not realized in yourself and your worth. And I think that this blog has been one of the most one of the videos that I've mostly spoken about God. I know that I have in my past, and my poems talk about it, but I don't know, it wasn't necessarily my plan. I was really going to more talk about a relationship on one-on-one, but as I'm talking, I'm realizing how it is crucial to know God's love first in order for you to know that you love someone and that you can love someone, and even to realize that that person loves you. Because once you know that how God loves you, like, obviously nobody's love will compare to his. We all fail. Another thing about, like, in relationships, I've heard a lot of people say all relationship goes through problems, all relationships go through issues, and things come up. That is true. No relationship will ever be perfect. So you're right. If you believe that and you know that, you're right. No relationship is ever perfect. But one thing I do want to say is that when you're in a relationship, that person should not be the problem. To better explain, if this person is the one messing up, the one causing you to cry every night, the one hurting you, the one just emotionally or physically or in any way being corruptive to you, that is not a relationship you want to be in. That person shouldn't be the cause of all the problems. I understand once you get to know someone and you're in a relationship, you're getting to know that person, their likes, their one thing that y'all may not agree on. But if y'all learn to accept each other because you guys love each other and accept the differences along with the likes and dislikes, you shouldn't expect the other person to like exactly everything that you do. And getting to understand each other, because it's part of growing together, it's part of understanding each other and accepting each other. And that's fine. And there might be a little argument or two because y'all don't see eye to eye on a topic or on a situation or whatever it is. But if the person is the one giving you the problems, or even if it's you that just keeps you realize that you're the problem, that you need to get yourself together, then you gotta step out. You gotta evaluate yourself. Why are you causing the relationship to have so much tension? Why are you hurting this person? Maybe you should not be in a relationship until you heal. I want to say that I'm not perfect. These are just my opinions, as always, in every blog. This is just my perspective over the topic. I'm still learning. And a lot of the things I mentioned, I still need to remind myself of, because I want to be a good partner always. I want to be in a healthy relationship. More than anything I've had in the past, I've just really been wanting to pursue God with someone. I didn't realize how important it was. I've always been the one just doing it me. I felt like because the other person may have had all this knowledge of God but wasn't living what they knew, or maybe whatever the reason, it was just always to actually be with someone that is on the same level as, like, perspective wise, and goals. Like, it's important. So what I'm trying to ultimately say is, you realize what love really is when you've learned to experience what God's love really looks like. And then when you realize that you want to be selfless in a relationship and you're not self-seeking for your own self-motives, that you want to be in this person's future, that you don't only see a temporary picture with this person, but you see a future. You see yourself, included in their plans and their goals. You see yourself as a motivator, as a cheerleader for their plans. You want to be there. You want to motivate them in any way. You want to love them. You want to show them what love really looks like, not what it just sounds like. You want to be that person to demonstrate what it is to love selflessly, unconditionally. No matter what you did wrong, I want to love you. I want to accept you, and I want to allow you to grow. Just let me. Because there's another thing that you may want to do all these things, and the person is just going to keep messing up. Oh, well, she loves me. And they take advantage of that. You also have to learn to realize that there's some people that are not yet worthy of that sort of love because they haven't learned themselves what love should look like. It's just, it sounds like it's a puzzle, but it's not a puzzle. It's not. It's not that complicated. I always feel like I don't explain things quite the right way, but then people tell me they did understand. But other times I really, like today, I really don't think I thought I had it written down in order where like how I wanted to say things, but I don't think it came out exactly how I wanted it to say. I just want people to realize that love is a beautiful thing. I don't think that love is painful and love hurts. The absence of love hurts. The idea of what you thought love was and then the idea being broken, that hurts. Love does not hurt. It shouldn't hurt. If it hurts, you gotta ask yourself a little bit more questions. It shouldn't hurt. I think that is all for today. Y'all do have any questions or y'all want to message me or want me to talk about a certain topic or anything, y'all can do that through YouTube, through here, and or comment below. Just if y'all want to share this video, y'all are more than welcome to. But hopefully I come back on here and do like another blog. I know that there's another topic I want to discuss. Alrighty guys, thank you for watching and staying tuned. Hopefully this speaks to you in some other way. Love.